Well, howdy everyone, and since we've gotten to the end of the section dealing with warriors and I have some free time on my hands, I figured, why not, in commemoration for this section of warriors, let's go see some shrines and some places associated with warrior gods, because why not? So that's what we're going to do today, so that being said, saddle up, let's go. So, for those of you wondering where we are headed off to now, please enjoy the backdrop of some Japanese countryside as we make our way to the dual shrines of Kashima Jingu and Katori Jingu, both of which are dedicated to warrior gods, which again I felt was very appropriate considering that we had just gotten done with the section in the Konjaku Monogatari Shu dealing with warriors. Now, I have been to Kashima once before, but it's one of my favorite shrines, so we're gonna go check it out again. If you want to know more, please see the previous video that I did about that one. But this is my first time going to Katori Jingu, and we'll see what treasures it has in store for us there. So, look forward to that. Now, to get there, I did have to take this special train line that had this itty-bitty little train that was absolutely adorable. That's how you get there. And here is Kashima Station. Taking the path up, we come to the main torii gate, main hall. And here is the forest path that leads into the entire rest of the park because it's not just a shrine, it's a whole park. A statue I missed last time. That's neato. And here, of course, I missed last time are some poems, because if you know who I am and you know what I do, I'm a sucker for poems. This one here reads, Misogi seshi, hito wa kaerite nubatama no, yoi ni furikuru mitarashi no ame. Followed by another one by the master himself, Matsuo Basho, kare eda ni tori no tamarikeri, aki no kure. And then one more by another famous poet, Issa, o nai ni bikutomo senu ya, Matsuno Hana. I won't translate these unless you guys really want me to, and let me know in the comments, and then maybe I'll make a video on those too. Here's the main hall again. Okay, so I apologize if there's any wind, nothing I can do about that, but here we are at Kashima Jingu, which is one of my favorite shrines to come to. If you remember, Kashima Jingu, oh, you see behind me, that's actually the main hall over here, and then there's the actual main hall back there. But if you remember from the 9th story, in this little section, in this scroll of stories that we translated, this supposedly was one of the sites where, or the site where Minamoto no Yorinobu, I apologize again for the wind, nothing I can do about that, where Minamoto no Yorinobu gathered his forces so he could go attack Taira no Taratsune. Now, apparently, doing some actual historical research, reading an article on the way over here, it's very unlikely that that story actually happened. However, it doesn't surprise me that whoever wanted to write stories celebrating the bravery and the prowess of the Eastern warriors would want to have a scene in which they were surrounding next to, they were connected to some sort of grand shrine, and I can think of no more premier shrine for Eastern warriors than this one here, because it is dedicated to one of the most premier gods of war in Japanese mythology. I'm personally also really fond of this shrine for a couple of reasons. Number one, when I write my name in kanji, the kanji that I arbitrarily chose is, the first one is the Bu in Bushido. If you're aware of that, it means warrior or martial or something like that. But the second character I use is Rai, which means thunder or lightning. And I did that because when I was very young, I enjoyed watching thunderstorms, actually with my dad usually, but just thunderstorms I find relaxing if it's far off in the distance and exciting if it's up close. I'd choose a thunderstorm over a fireworks show any day. But because of that, I've always had an affinity for lightning and thunder. And so I chose those two characters to write my name, but another way that you can say those is Take Ikazuchi, which is very similar to the name of the god who is supposedly enshrined here, Take mi Ikazuchi. So that's just a fun little bit of a serendipity. But that's going to conclude it here, and hopefully you enjoyed this video. Again, I promise you. Oh, jeez, I apologize about the wind. I'm going to go. See ya. And being done with Kashima, we're back at the train station. His fancy stairs. I liked them. And of course, we have to have our regular Dr. Pepper because I'm a sucker for that stuff. And now we are on our way to Katori Jingu, which I have never been to. And you can see some of these lowlands near the ocean. This place is near the coast. Here's just outside the train station for Katori Station. And apparently this isn't where you normally get off. I was misguided and I eventually got lost and wandered around the Japanese countryside, which I had to take some footage of because it was absolutely gorgeous. I mean, look at this. And then I got lost on the mountain a little bit. Luckily there was this guy ahead of me and I could just follow him and pretend like I knew where I was going. But I also had to resist the urge to go down some of these offshoot paths and get even further lost because I just wanted to explore. The road just up to the shrine. And we made it in one piece with only getting lost a little bit. And here is the main hall, complete with beautiful mirror. Okay, so here we are at Katori Jingu, which is the second major shrine dedicated to a god of war. And unfortunately, it doesn't feature in any of the stories, but owing to the fact that we're at the end of the section dealing specifically with warriors, I figured it was appropriate to come see this place too. And oh man, it's gorgeous, absolutely beautiful. Did not disappoint. One thing that I will mention that's seemingly unrelated, but actually kind of is related, is what some of you may be asking, bro, why are you wandering around in a hat and this whole Western getup? Are you a cowboy? Well, the first question is no, I'm not a real one. I wish I was. I did grow up in the American Southwest and I was around a lot of that culture and stuff. It's part of my heritage. But honestly, growing up, I thought it was rather boring because it was everywhere, you know? However, when my grandfather passed away, he left me this hat. So I figured, I'll keep the hat. But as I started learning more about ancient warriors, right? Ancient Japanese warriors and their culture. And I started noticing how similar they were to the American West. And I think I mentioned this in some other places. I won't go into detail here, but the more I looked into it, the more I thought that especially samurai from the Heian period would probably have gotten along really, really well with old school cowboys from the frontier West. Honestly, they probably would have gotten along very, very well. So after learning about that, I decided I wanted to learn how to ride horses, and I got the boots because the guy who was teaching me how to ride horses, which was my grandmother's older brother, so my great uncle, I think, he demanded that I actually get riding boots for that. And I figured as I got older, the whole culture and everything just kind of grew on me. But it originally stemmed from the idea that samurai were just Japanese cowboys. That's what it is. And so I decided, why the heck not? I'll just become the Western version of that kind of person that I think is so cool. Anyway, but if you guys ever do get the chance, please come to Katori Jingu. It's been surprisingly, I was kind of blown away. It is absolutely gorgeous, amazing. But that's going to wrap it up for Katori Jingu for this time. And if you ever get a chance, come check it out. Anyways, peace. And because I got lost and ended up entering it from the wrong way, I will now be exiting from the right way. So here's the main torii, here's the main path that leads up to the shrine, which I am now going down. And there's a nice little koi pond halfway down, or up if you're going the right way. Followed by the last little stretch, and then we will have the final torii gate, and I hope you guys enjoyed that. It was beautiful, please check it out. Okay, so we've largely made it back in one piece. I didn't get any footage of me coming back because it was too dark by the time I got back to the train station. It was basically too dark to get any footage. But yeah, so if you enjoyed what you saw, please like the video and subscribe to the channel because I don't do these vlog things very often, but I do them occasionally. And hopefully you enjoyed that, and we will see you next time. Have a good one. I'm gonna go to bed. I am tired, way too much walking. Anyways, see you later, guys.